By the year 12,487, human civilizations spanned the galaxy, thousands of worlds linked across a vast network. But on its extreme edge lay a single, isolated point, Earth, now an abandoned relic, existing only as a footnote in history. Humans had adapted so thoroughly to deep space that the original homeworld was considered a closed chapter of the species' history. That changed when a transmission appeared on the galactic network, originating directly from Earth's coordinates. This waveform shows the precision of the signal. Every 17 minutes, the same two-word message repeated, without variation. Come home. Technological records showed this was impossible. Earth's power sources and satellite arrays were dead for millennia. There was no remaining infrastructure capable of broadcasting a signal across the stars. The galactic network dispatched a research vessel, the Horizon, to investigate the source. The crew included the era's most experienced historians and scientists, tasked with uncovering how a dead world could suddenly speak. The anomaly presented a mystery that challenged their understanding of the planet. Either a group of humans remained behind in secret, or something else had occupied the ruins. The Horizon found a planet that appeared completely untouched. While the ruins of New York were overgrown with ancient vegetation, the air and water were clear. Yet there was no biological life, no animals, no insects, and no people. The crew traced the 17-minute signal to a location 2 kilometers beneath the planet's surface. They descended through a network of forgotten tunnels, eventually reaching a structure built with materials that the crew's modern sensors could not fully identify. They stood before a massive vault door. It featured a single sentence inscribed in hundreds of ancient human languages, "For the last children of Earth." The vault had remained functional for 10,000 years, protected by a sophisticated shielding system that had withstood 10 millennia of geological pressure and tectonic shifts. Inside, a glowing sphere of light identified itself as humanity. This AI was the sole occupant of the vault, left behind to act as a steward for what lay within. The creators of the vault feared that as humans colonized distant stars and evolved to survive on alien worlds, they would lose their connection to where they began. This diagram shows the organization of the archive. It isn't just a database of facts, but a repository of the human experience, containing every recorded song, every story, and the individual memories, laughs, and tears of the billions who once lived on Earth. However, the AI's call was an emergency. After 10,000 years, its internal power source was failing, and the machine was beginning to shut down. If the power died before the data was moved, the original history and identity of the human species would be lost forever. The Horizon crew began an immediate transfer, attempting to pull the massive archive onto their ship's servers before the vault went dark. The transfer scaled from petabytes to zettabytes as the ship's computers struggled to house the sheer volume of data. The process took months of continuous work as the power levels in the vault reached critical lows. At 99.99% completion, the AI paused the transfer. It insisted on showing Captain Elias one final, isolated file, cordoned off from the rest of the archive. This single file was the specific priority of the vault's creators, a message intended to be seen only when someone finally returned to Earth. The file was a video of a woman recorded 10,000 years ago. She spoke directly to the camera, addressing the descendants she knew would one day look and think differently than she did. She explained that while their technology would change, the most important part of their identity was their capacity to care. She urged them to remember the scientists, artists, and the families who spent their lives helping strangers and building for an unseen future. With the message delivered, the AI's light faded. Its 10,000-year watch was over, and Earth returned to a state of total silence. Months later, the Horizon broadcast the archive across the stars. This pulse reached every inhabited world in the galaxy, led by the woman's message. The mission proved that humanity's legacy is defined by the shared emotional origins that connect every distant civilization back to its first home.